Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we're going to talk about IGN. This is interesting. You sent this over yesterday that IGN has a battle for editorial independence. What's going on now is that there was a controversial post put up on IGN a couple of weeks ago.
You covered that, didn't you?
Yeah, we covered that actually on Derezzed.
Oh, did we? Okay.
Yeah, it was covered on Derezzed. Derezzed, we had JV Waldrop write an article talking about how IGN USA was called out by IGN Israel for promoting Palestinian charities on IGN. Now, IGN is supposed to be an entertainment news website, a video game news website, and for some reason, they decided they were going to get all political. So
we know why.
Right.
You hire these people that just want a platform.
Somehow IGN
for activism.
Somehow IGN became political, and they got called out by Israel because IGN, they have an office in Israel, and they're like, why are you guys picking a side? That's what they were doing. They were like, hey, this is coming from IGN Israel. They're like, we were amazed to discover this morning a misleading and confusing donation campaign. They were actually linking to the Palestinian campaign on IGN.com, found on the American website IGN. It's important for us to emphasize we condemn this action and did not take part in it, or we're aware of it. It's not our way. We at IGN Israel support the state of Israel, obviously, and support IDF soldiers, etc., etc. So they were blindsided because this is a division of IGN.
Now, this has nothing to do with your stance on whether you support Israel or Palestine. This is not what this is about. Better clarify that. We're not taking sides on this on here either.
No, and the problem is that a video game news site should not have been taking sides on such a political hot button.
People don't go to IGN for your political hot takes.
No. So what happened, fast forward, is that they took the article down and they put a statement out.
And then people got pissed and took the article down.
Yeah. So now the journalists and the editors are kind of at each other's throats over there. IGN, they're not happy with management. I'm going to tell you what I think is potentially going to happen. I think that the higher ups at IGN, the company that owns IGN, is probably just going to get rid of them all. Well, a lot of them. Yeah,
most likely, because now they're writing an open letter to management demanding talks and all this other crap. Yeah, here, this is the open, our morale has never been this low. They had an open letter before this, and then this is the recent article about, how upset they are.
Yeah, inside IGN's battle for editorial independence, we're going to talk about this and how it's probably going to end badly, I think, for these journalists who should stick to games.
Yeah, because that's what this is. Here's the thing. I'm going to have a little bit of a rant for a minute. If you're hired for a company or for a blog, whatever, to cover what the blog covers, in this case, games, pop culture, you are not hired to go and put your damn political hot takes on the site. If you feel strongly about something, you may go and put that up on another website or, on your own personal accounts. But people aren't coming to that website to read your political hot takes. You're hired to do a job. This is not part of your job. If you want to go write stuff like this, I suggest you quit and you go to another company that is a political blog so you can write your hot takes. Or you can go start your own damn blog. But that's hard because a lot of these activist types don't actually want to do anything. They just want somebody else to build it for them and then let them have the chair, the warm seat, that they have a platform and given the megaphone to say whatever the fuck they want. Sorry, Mom, but they didn't want to actually do any work to build it in the first place.
Yep. It is very hard to start a blog or some kind of a news outlet from the ground up. And, layoffs. So layoffs have been terrible in 2020.
If people won't stick to what I tell them to stick to and what our story things are, they're going to get gone.
Well, yeah. I mean, you hire people for a specific purpose. We are a pop culture site. We talk about pop culture. No, I don't want your hot takes on, the Middle East on
a gaming thing. People want to know about what the next game's coming out for this platform.
So we're going to talk about that. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We're over 191,000 subs. You can check out more pop culture news at d-resd.com and on piratesandprincesses.net, which is primarily a Disney theme park blog, Universal theme park news.
We cover anything Disney mostly.
Anything Disney. And you sent this over. You actually said that Yellow Flash had
I saw that someone had sent it to me about him having a video on the update for this. And yeah, this is stupid.
Yeah, so this is coming from Fanbyte. This is the fallout. So inside IGN's battle for editorial independence, our morale has never been this low. IGN employees say a week after confronting their parent company.
Well, then go find another job.
Yeah, they said IGN, one of the largest websites dedicated to covering video game news and reviews.
Video game, not political, not politics.
Underwent a very public scandal this month. The trouble began when the site's parent company, J2 Global, seemingly removed an article on the site titled How to Help Palestinian Civilians, which acted as a call to readers for humanitarian aid.
Right, because, no part of that does have anything to do with video game pop culture news. But they're also trying to say, well, the company removed it without talking to the writers, too. They don't have to talk to you. They're the boss. It's their blog. It's their name on it. It's them paying your ass.
Well, they probably got phone calls. They probably got, again, IGN Israel is probably like, what the hell are you doing? Mm-hmm. Why are you clearly picking a side in a complicated political situation when you're supposed to be covering effing video games?
Stick to video games. Stick to sports.
Unfortunately, the situation only appears to be growing more complicated. The action was seen as a major step over the boundary between corporate ownership and editorial independence, traditionally expected in free journalism.
Whoa.
What?
No. Fanbyte, bullshit. There's not a major step of boundary between corporate ownership. They own the blog. They don't want that on the blog that they own. They can say, here's our guidelines. We don't want this. They don't owe you free journalism. That's not what you're there for. You're not there to be able to sit there. That's what they want. I want to sit at the seat and give my activism takes to everyone on a platform that I didn't do anything to build. No, you don't get that right. Sorry. Go build your own damn platform.
I remember people having issues with ethics in gaming journalism and asking for more transparency and more ethics in gaming journalism, and they were called Gamergate. Mm-hmm. Oh boy, how times have changed, right? Certainly several dozen IGN staffers thought that they needed to remain free journalism.
Well, then go start your free to quit and go work for a political journal or go start your own damn site.
2 days after the article was removed, 82 out of the 238 IGN employees signed a public statement to express their disapproval and plead their case for common editorial independence.
Wait, so you think these people should sign this agreement and that the people, the powers that be that own the company, they're giving you their job, need to go and change everything and let you write about whatever the fuck you want to write about? Sorry, Mom. Because you're you and you demand editorial independence. That's a load of shit. That's not how any of this works. You want editorial independence, you go work for a site that offers you that, or you start your own damn site.
The whole thing is worth reading, but the centerpiece was that the parent company shouldn't be able to unilaterally remove wait a second. The parent company, owners.
The owners.
Should not be able to unilaterally remove content created by and endorsed by the editorial wing.
So they're not allowed, the owners of the company shouldn't be allowed to remove content that their employees posted because they're editorial? No, that's not how any of this works.
What the fuck planet are you living on? Like, I completely agree that, editors and journalists should have freedom to report objectively and report the news. But this company, J2 Global, owns what they believe to be a video game blog. And you've got people out there editorializing.
Causing drama, causing issues.
On politics. I would be pissed too. I would be like, what the fuck are you doing?
And these are the same damn people who think that it's completely okay if you're on YouTube or Twitter or Facebook to have your stuff taken down if it goes against, their beliefs. Yeah. That they can just unilaterally remove content. But that's okay because you understand that when you're using their service as terms of service. But they should be allowed to just go do whatever the hell they want and get paid for it by the company. They should just hand them a paycheck, pay them anyway to go and tank the website and make it about things it's not supposed to be about.
So roughly a day after the reaction, things were looking up. Multiple sources within IGN who wish to remain anonymous, of course they do, tell Fanbyte that chief content...
By two people?
Yeah, right. Chief content officer and site co-founder Pierre Schneider assured the staff corporate was listening. They probably don't give a shit, though. The proper people had supposedly seen the complaints and were open to discussion. The mood turned tenuous but optimistic given Schneider's comments. The letter of disapproval originally said date for May 21st to hold said discussion between all involved parties.
Pat in the head.
Yeah.
I say, here's the discussion. Here's the guidelines. Here is our business plan mission statement. There's a door if you don't like it.
I want to remind people what happened. And this isn't to be, look, I believe in some cases unions are necessary to protect workers, you know, when you're dealing in like dangerous situations or a clear...
Or you're being screwed over financially.
Yeah, a clear abuse. I mean, I've worked for companies where they put everybody on salary even if they had no underlings.
Oh, they got in trouble though.
They did. They did.
But it was illegal.
It was illegal. But we saw what happened with Gizmodo and Kickstarter and these other companies that they want to unionize. And all of a sudden, people get gone. Because they're basically like, they become labeled the troublemakers. And at the end of the day, you don't own the blog. You might be responsible for the content. You know, you might bring a lot to the table in terms of views or whatever. But if you're more trouble than you're worth and you're destroying the reputation of the website, then the owners have to make decisions they have to make.
Well, what's going to happen now is a lot of people who just want gaming news aren't going to go there anymore because they're going to be like, I might get gaming news, I might get this shit. And then you have to remember, some people disagree with your political opinion. And if they disagree with your political opinion, then they're not going to come to see your site anyway. And you might lose a whole bunch of your audience who might not necessarily agree with you. Or you might gain people that agree with you, but doesn't mean that they play games. So that kind of defeats the whole purpose of your mission.
So now during the week, Schneider, the chief content officer, backtracked his earlier statements internally, suddenly placing all the blame for the original article's removal and ensuing fallout on himself. If that were true, it would make this issue entirely editorial, magically absolving J2 Global and Ziff Davis of the corporate interference of which they were accused.
If they own the magazine blog journal, they can do that if they want to.
They could, I mean, technically, they could just be like, yeah, you know what? We're done with this website. Here's the delete button. Boop,
we're going to sell it to somebody else.
We'll sell it to somebody else. That might happen.
It might be even worse than what you have now.
Well, Giant Bomb, that's another big website. I guess they're getting bundled up and they're getting sold off. I mean, this is what these journalists don't understand. Okay, you are lucky to have any job in journalism right now because these websites are folding. These newspapers are folding. People are looking at journalists more skeptically than they have in a long time. And these websites aren't really worth as much as they used to be to the corporate owners. And if you become more trouble than you're worth, I'm not saying, don't fight for things that are worth fighting for, but we're talking about a political hot take on a video game website.
If you want to fight for things that matter to you, then you go find a job on a site that lets you do that. Or that's their mission statement. Or you go just post it on your own blog. Or you go post it on Twitter. Trust me, none of you feel that you can't post it there because you do it every day. I love this. They're talking about how they're basically blaming it on editorial and saying that editorial needs to clean itself up. And then he said they're mad because he further attempted to pit police against each other by asserting several people who signed the open letter were coerced or tricked into doing so. Yeah, you know what? If it was in reverse, they would be saying the same thing. I guarantee you. They'd be like, oh, well, they felt they had the signer, they'd be fired. I guarantee you. Because that would be their go-to trick to say, oh, no, well, those signatures aren't real.
So now they're worried about the traffic to the website because E3 is going to be digital again. They said now many employees say they're entering this highly stressful time without faith that their parent company supports them or a desire to craft and promote good journalism. It was a political hot take on a video game website. I'm sorry.
Good journalism. You people don't know what good journalism is. It'll hit you in the ass. That's been an ongoing problem. That's why sites like us are getting so big.
Yeah.
Because good journalism, you don't even know what the hell that is.
People are looking for alternatives, any alternative. This is why YouTubers are blowing up. This is why alternative news sites are blowing up because sites like IGN have failed. Kotaku have failed. Nobody takes you seriously. Like within your circle, jerk, of your peers, you guys think you're all great. But the reality is you are owned by a company that has certain expectations for what kind of content is on the site. They maintain a video game news website.
They aren't going to pay you for your own personal hot takes on the video game news website. No company is going to pay you for your personal hot takes. I'm so tired of this. If you want to do that, again, if you want to do politics, go get a job working in a journal that you feel like the real journalism needs to be done at.
So they said after the post was removed, we have come to understand that this was a clear instance of corporate overreach.
No.
And demonstrated blatant disregard for the most basic standards of journalistic integrity and editorial independence.
Since when has IGN journalists been about standard journalistic integrity and editorial whatever? Since when? You know, I mean, I've seen so much shit come out of these kind of blogs. It's ridiculous. Integrity. I don't think, you know, spell the word, let alone know what it means.
So this is, yeah, and I think it's because IGN Israel complained, look, at the end of the day, they
would have probably got away with it. They wouldn't have known if IGN Israel hadn't complained.
Yeah, because they're probably
got away with it too if it weren't for you pesky kids.
I am floored. I think what's going to happen, partially as a result of this, is that there's actually going to be more corporate oversight. And I get it, because I know I worked as a newspaper editor before.
They wouldn't have to babysit your ass if you didn't give them reason to.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Like, look, sometimes, I mean, I always felt torn. A lot of times we had pressure put on us to do think pieces or puff pieces about certain advertisers or stuff like that.
Yeah, that goes with the territory.
And that is unfortunate. It is kind of a reality of the business, though, because at the end of the day, the advertisers do pay the bills.
But on a gaming site, you don't do political hot takes.
No, they're saying, well, we've had articles up before, donate to Black Lives Matter, donate to whatever. In this case, though, I think it was different because it was clearly we've got two factions. It's a very complicated situation, and you're clearly taking a side. And whoopsie doopsie, we have an IGN office in Israel. So yeah. It's not a good look. And I think what could potentially happen is I think they could gut editorial, or they could sell the damn website.
Yeah, because they'll be like, I don't want to deal with these people anymore.
Yeah.
And then you'll probably get sold to somebody else for, a fraction of what it's worth, and you'll get paid even less.
You'll get sold to IGN Israel. They'll take over the whole damn thing, and then they'll just fire everybody.
I doubt that. But if it gets sold, that probably means more oversight, less pay. I mean, at the end of the day, you work for this company. If you don't like the company, just go someplace else.
That's what they do. They're like locusts. They move from company.
No, but then they get there and they think that they own the place.
Yes.
Like, I am me, so I get to post this article. And if you don't do it, I'm going to go get you canceled, because how dare you tell me as an activist that I can't do my due diligence as an activist on your blog. It's like, if you come onto my blog and do that, you're fired. No question. I'm telling you straight up.
Yeah, if we tell you no, we don't want to run a particular piece because we think it's too hot or whatever, guess what? Guess who has to deal with all the blowback, all the potential fallout, all the issues with the advertisers? Not you.
And if you have issues with advertisers, that means you don't get paid. So here's my advice. Go start your own thing. Go work for somebody else. But stop demanding all these companies change everything about them to accommodate you. You're still only a quarter of the employees.
Yeah, I know. The funny thing about this is they all think that they're Lois Lane, but they're mostly a bunch of Rita Skeeters. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love that analogy. That's about right.
Yeah, they all think they're
that's fun.
Pulitzer Prize-winning journos, just writing hit pieces about game developers.
And why I don't like holes in a PlayStation 5. Or was it Xbox? Whatever it was.
The Xbox.
Yeah. Right.
Oh, no, the PlayStation 5. That was Kotaku. Yeah, the PlayStation 5, it was a review that turned into an anti-Trump tirade by the end of it.
That's right. And then the Xbox one was the one about the holes. I'm just like sitting here, like scratching my head, and I don't understand it. It's not that complicated. Go someplace else. Stick to sports if you want to, stick to games if you want to be on IGN. Or learn to code.
Yeah, right. Then you can build your own website.
There you go. And then you can say whatever the hell you want.
Yeah, we're gonna wrap it up.
Good luck getting advertisers.
Yeah, right. We gonna wrap it up?
Yep.
Okay, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We'll talk later.
Bye.